Hello everyone, I have returned. The launchpad appears to be working, and so, as I told you I would do, I have come to go through my characters and try to see what I have made and what I haven't made, and then that should help me determine what I might want to make on Origins. Um, I have all of the all of the crafter classes, so it's actually just the adventuring classes that I'm going to be looking at. This is Corvus. As you can see, he has a W after his name, and that's because um, I never really met with him. A friend of mine made him a long time ago, and played him for that day, and I never touched him afterwards. So when the servers merged from Luke and Lear, I think it was from when it merged from Luke and Lear into Module. Um, Sometime during that, maybe a little after that, they, well, I guess it was during that probably. If someone had the same name as someone else being merged with, then they got a letter added to the end of their name. So this one got a W, so he's Corvus W these days. And again, clearly I don't play him at all. Next, we're not going to count him, even though he's a berserker. I don't play him. I don't want to knock him off the list just because he's technically there. The next one is on the Antonia Bale server. I did mention before that I made a character on the Antonia Bale server. It was simply to help my friend start his guild. So this is another one that I'm not actually going to count for something that I have. He is a brigand. Um, Maybe the only brigand that I've ever made myself. Um, and again, I got him to level 10. I just helped my buddy form a guild, and then I basically deserted him. So that's Goremender for you. Next, we have Kuruburu, which is a halfling bruiser. He's level 100, so we will count him, knock him off the list of fighters that are available to play, because got him up to level 100. I think he counts for something. Next one is Prioria. Prioria is a channeler. I didn't even list the channeler on this list because the channeler is not available on Origins anyway. But this is my channeler, Prioria. Next on the list is Zertog. Zertog is the saddest troubadour. My whole plan was to make him look as sad as could be, and I think did pretty well at that. I really appreciated his look. Um, he's beautiful. That's all I can say about him. I will knock him off. I played him a good bit. He's level 100 and level 92 woodworker. But let's see if I can find troubadour on my scouts list. Knock that right off. Then we have Serenia. Serenia. Serenia is actually on the Antonia Bale server as well. But the reason that Serenia ended up there is because I had made her on a temporary server, like a TLE, and when that server ended, she got thrown onto Antonia Bale. Um, not, not my choice. I think I could have transferred her to Module with all of my others, but I didn't end up doing that because it wasn't important to me at the time. So I will count her, knock off Warden from the list. Um, then we have Regalia, kind of a similar situation. It's a mystic. I had made her on a temporary server. Didn't end up playing it very long. I believe that was the PvP server that was temporary, and so I ended up not keeping her. Hey, Mudbone, how you doing? The next one on this list is I'm not going to knock the Mystic off of that one because I have a better Mystic choice for that. But uh, Ushibu. Ushibu is a level 90 paladin. I think that that qualifies good enough. to knock that one off the list. And it's another situation of making it on a different server and then getting thrown on. So, Ushibu knocks Paladin off the list of fighters that I haven't had. Euryphria. Now we're to my module primary people here. Euryphria is an illusionist, level 100. Definitely qualifies, so we'll knock illusionist off the list of mages. After that, we have Kitlin. Kitlin was my main for a number of years. That's a level 100 mystic. So mystic gets knocked off of the priests. Meji is a monk, level 84. Even though level 84 isn't all that high level, just from, the sounds of it, I actually did play Meji a great deal, particularly during Battlegrounds. I had her locked at level, I want to say right around level 30 for a very long time, and was having a lot of fun dying in Battlegrounds to the level 90s, one-shotting me. So, good times with her. She's a monk. I will knock monk off the list of fighters. Next on the list would be Narrowlel. Narrowlel is a level 49 warlock. I guess I won't knock that one off, because possibly I didn't play Narrowlel enough to count. Next is Orgare. Orgare's a level 99 conjurer. I have a higher level conjurer, so I'll give that a second. But Orgare is the largest ogre that you can make. He is a thing of beauty. And I used to always log him in to go do the holiday events. Because honestly, how can you not love this guy? He's everything that you could possibly want in an ogre, I feel. Wonderful. Glorious. Next we have Wyndlin. Wyndlin is a warlock, level 100. And that's the one that's going to knock warlock off the list. I definitely played Wyndlin, and so we will say, we've got warlock covered. So knock that off the mage list. Harlech is the next one, level 77 Ixar Fury. I would say I had enough playtime on Harlech and to count as being knocked off for this server, because honestly I really should be thinking only up to level 77 for these, or I mean level 70 for these anyway, because Origins only goes up to level 70 right now, so that should that may mean I should go back. No, Nerlel is only 49, so I won't knock. I don't know. I'll think about that one. Regardless, Harlech definitely will qualify for this, so I'll knock Harlech. I'll knock Fury off the list. Halinthial was my main for many years. She was my first main, I would say. Level 125 High Elf Conjurer, and certainly one of my top characters of all time. So I am going to say we can very definitely knock Conjurer off the list of mages that I have made. Next we have Gahelium. Gahelium is another one who was my main for many years. Gahelium is lovely also. Really you just can't beat those aesthetics. Something about that lovely dress on Lucan Delir and the flowing cape. He's also, I believe, the shortest dwarf that you can make, and a guardian. So really, truly, it ties it all together into this phenomenal experience. And I'm gonna knock Guardian off the list. She's a level 110 Guardian. So knock that off the list of fighters. Alright, then we have Blunderball. Blunderball is a level 100 Inquisitor, and definitely played enough for me to be comfortable with the concept of Inquisitor. So we'll knock that off the list because we don't want me being comfortable. That's no fun at all. We want discomfort, chaos, discord, all those things. That's what we're going for here. So no to Inquisitor. After that, we have Jade. Jade is a level 100 half elf ranger, and another one who I played a good deal in Battlegrounds with. You'll note that I have the same dress on her as I have on Gahelium, but somehow it just hits different, you know? Um, but okay, level 100 ranger knocks ranger off the list of scouts pretty distinctly. The next, and I believe final character is Hildebar. Hildebar is my courser. I did enjoy playing the courser, and I made her on Race to Trekanon. Lovely little halfling. She was very well suited for Race to Trek, and helped me get the server reset item, not server reset, zone lockout reset. That would be interesting to have a server reset item, but no, zone lockout reset item. Um, and so I'm going to knock Coercer off the list of possibles, which leaves me with two possible fighters, two possible mages, two possible priests, and four possible scouts left to choose from. I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? I think I've learned about polls and doing polls on Twitch. So, knowing the options, I'm going to post a class option here. And so you're going to see my screen all strange while I try to do this. And I'm going to say that you're going to pick for me whether I make a fighter, a mage, priest, or a scout next. And we'll see how this voting works. Because I have no idea. I've never done it. So we're going to click start poll and see what happens. I think I just clicked view results. I don't really know. And maybe as it goes, we'll see. I don't know. No idea. At any rate, those are the things I have available. So the things that I do not have a high level class of or subclass of is Berserker, Shadow Knight, Wizard, Necromancer, Templar, Defiler, Dirge, Assassin, Brigand, and Swashbuckler. Now, that being said, it occurs to me I should also knock out the ones that I currently have on Origins, which would be a Swashbuckler, that's Copernici. Shadow Knight is Lemurial, and there's actually another one that I have on there, but I think it's a duplicate class. So we won't put put too much in stock in that one. And I just made it. Obviously, I wouldn't want to make a duplicate of it, but so that brings us down to having only a berserker to choose from in fighter and only three scouts. So Dirge, Assassin, and Brigand are still left on those options. Now, I am going to try to get back over to the other server. I don't know what is going to happen when I exit this screen, so we'll see what you guys end up seeing here while I try to switch over to the Origins server, because I do have to go back to the launch pad to be able to select the Origins server. I'm also going to refresh the poll while I'm here. Yeah, I have no idea how that works. Hopefully you guys can see something that I can't see. In the meanwhile, I'm going to try to pull back up the correct server here. So up in the upper left corner, I select where it says version, and then I select Origins, apply that. It's going to do some quick changes, and then I can click play there. That's how you get into the Origins server. If you've never done that before, when you're on the launch pad, you have to go up to the upper left area It'll say version, US, or whatever you currently have set, and then you will select origins from that list, and then it'll take you into that server. It looks like the EverQuest 2 loading screen is still popped up, so it's going to take a whole second before you can see more visuals on this, it looks like. I've never done this before this way, so wasn't really sure how it would end up looking on your end. What I'm seeing is it looks like a black screen. Very, very exciting. I mean, it's not exactly just a black screen because we've also got a few little goals up there. I'm kind of figuring out how to do. This is it's an interesting experiment. The EverQuest 2 logo is about halfway through its loading bar. Normally it doesn't take this long, just to warn you. So it's just doing this for funsies because it thinks it'll be very cute to make me have a black screen and chatting with nothing for you to see. That's how life goes when you're me, right? You try to do something and here we are. But that's all right. There are certainly worse things out there, right? So Mudbone Jr., huh? Do you play EverQuest? Alright, and we've also gotten to the part where it's loading into the game and you can actually see things again, which is really convenient. Alright, so the three I have on here is Copernicus, level 30 Swashbuckler, level 33 Jeweler, Lemuriel, level 7 Shadow Knight, level 15 Scholar, and Adaskama, who is a level 4 Mystic and currently in McQueen's Colony, no crafting whatsoever. Not even going to count that one. I have a high level Mystic, and the only reason I made that specific character was to play with a friend who had joined and who had never played EverQuest before, who was on the island. I don't know if that character will ever actually get off of the island due to that reason. So, anyway, let's log into Copernicus for the moment. The interesting thing is that it may be because I'm using the phone to watch my chat, but for whatever reason, I can't see the poll that I started. Hopefully you guys can, but I cannot. Technical difficulties. Please hold. Let's see that. We've got one person besides me on in the guild, and it's Elixia. And I'm going to pop on into the guild house and start on some put in some crafting, I think. But first I'm gonna alt tab out and look at this. Oh, I wonder, oh my goodness, I wonder if I need to click maybe click one of these buttons on here. Oh, okay. I see that I've got a couple of votes on mage, it looks like, so far. I don't know how to tell when the poll ends, so hopefully I'll get some sort of a notification when that happens. And get back in this screen. And you know what I think I'll do is do part of this writ and then go have a look at it again and see where the vote stands. Of the mages, just to let you guys know, it'll either be wizard or necromancer if that ends up being the way. So far, it's looking likely because, like I said, we got 2 votes for mage, and we don't have any votes for anything else thus far, so I guess we'll see how that ends up. Hopefully you guys can see that poll on your end of things. I saw that there's a way to make it a pop-out poll. I think that would be for me viewing it, though, not for it showing on the screen. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, if you are aware of that. But that's my understanding. Looks like Mappo just logged in as well. Say hi to him. And get another one of these combines going. So what I'm thinking is, whenever we finish this poll and find out what class you guys would like me to make, I can maybe make another poll and ask which particular subclass you prefer. If it ends up being fighter, there's only one option. That's a berserker. But any of the other classes would have at least 2, and in one case 3 options. So may as well do something fun and let you guys participate in my next character creation. I'm actually open to any of it. I dislike being in Freeport, but some of the classes, that's the only option there is. If you make that class, you have to be in Freeport. So I will suffer the consequences of that and be momentarily sad, but I'll recover. This too shall pass. So I'm thinking, once I finish this set of combines, this set of 4 deafening missiles specifically, that I'll hop over there and see what the channel has decided regarding which class to make next. And then there's the question of which crafting class am I gonna go? And that's gonna be partially dependent on what we already have at high levels in the guild. There are 9 crafting subclasses available, and I'm open to any of them except for jeweler, because I already have a jeweler. Obviously, this is my jeweler, so we don't need that. But otherwise, I'll just look and see what else is at least. I'm gonna say at least level 50, because this server goes up to level 70 right now. And if the individual has leveled the class up to level 50, I feel like it's safe to say that they're going to probably level it the rest of the way up. So I'll knock those off and then see what we have remaining in the way of artisan classes. That's my big thought of the moment. I do like the poll thing. I used to write on Kindle Vella when Kindle Vella existed, and I really enjoyed putting polls at the end of my stories, at the end of every episode on there, so that just to kind of see what my readers thought. And I wasn't doing the choose your own adventure thing where they got to decide the way that the story went. But I was just kind of checking in with people and seeing where they were and what they were thinking, and I really enjoyed that. So, all right, I'm going to go have a look and see what it says over here. Looks like Mage did win, as we predicted it would. And so, very cool. That being the case, let me see if I can figure out how to make another one where we'll say, what subclass of mage should I make? Make it a simple question. And let's see. The subclasses, in this case, that remain to me are wizard and necromancer. So let's say get 2 choices, and I will start that poll now. And then I'll go back over here and do another little section of crafting while we wait on that poll to percolate, right? I think I can probably finish out this writ and then go check on it. And so this will be an entertaining event, at least entertaining for me, hopefully entertaining for you too. As to the artisan level, I don't really have to worry about that yet because you have to get up to level 9 before you choose your class in that. And so there's no need to think about that too heavily until you reach that level. It doesn't really take very long, but it does take a minute, and you do have a little bit of time to get your bearings. Let's see here. I'm working on Rip, which is that pretty cool ranger spell. I like the concept of it, right? So the idea that when you use that spell, that your character is essentially running up to the enemy, grabbing an arrow that they've previously shot into him, and ripping that back out of his body. So you do damage, and you also get an arrow back when you do that. It's a neat concept. But look at that. I failed. Oh, man. Once in a while, I guess that happens. It happens less if you're paying more attention to what you're doing than I am. But I'm a shining example of how not to play this game. So if you were wondering, that's actually my best quality, I would say. One of them. One of the top. It's up there. So, remember folks, when you are crafting, pay a little bit of attention to the crafting so you can make pristines. That's alright. It rewards me anyway. See, I got the level in spite of everything. Just gave me another reason to make a Rip Apprentice 3. And I'm sure someone will enjoy it. I'll probably throw it on the broker later today. And some ranger can grab it and rip arrows out of bodies with a little bit more gusto than prior. Sometimes we call this Copernides Calamity. At least now we do. It's got a ring to it, right? And actually, out of sheer curiosity, I'm going to check and see how the voting is going on whether I'm going to be making a wizard or a necromancer. After I make this combine, or fail to make this combine, as the case could be. Well, I mean, I'll make some combine. It just may not be pristine. It is pristine, as it turns out. Alright, let me have a look at that real quick. I think I click View Results. And it's looking like Wizard is winning at the moment. We'll see. Still a little bit of time, so I will start on the Thurl's Snapping Shot. You know, I can't think even of what that is. I said snapping. It's sapping. I said it. I wrote it. Let's see here. What is it? It's for a dirge. Okay. Now see, that's one of the classes I haven't played, so that explains why I don't have a lot of familiarity with, and I don't have any familiarity with this particular spell or combat art, as it actually is in the correct lingo. Let's see here. We've got it inflicts 75 to 125 disease on target. Does that twice. It also roots the target. If the target is not epic, of course. 15% chance to dispel when the target takes damage. So it's a root, and it does a little bit of damage. Resistibility increases against targets higher than level 49. That's traditional, you know, it's any kind of root or snare or anything's going to have that kind of a caveat on it. So basically, it does a little bit of damage and it roots the enemy. So it's a good, probably helpful for not dying as a dirge. I kind of like the rip concept better though. It's just a neat idea. I was seeing somebody talk in channel saying that the quest isn't on the server, where in Sands you capture a camel and can have 3 pets. Interesting. Not something that's relevant for this character quite yet, but perhaps later. Alright, I'll try to save this combine from becoming another victim of my errors. Just one more combine to go, and then I'll go and check and see what kind of subclass I'm going to be making. Also, it's important for me to fail to counter more things. Vital related. I'm out of power, so I did have to go to a previous version of this particular symbol right here in order to counter the event that had happened. Now I have enough that I should be able to finish this combine out without running out of power. Alright, there's that. Now, let's check and see. The thrill, excitement. Refresh the page. Oh, still going, it looks like. Interesting, I didn't realize that it hadn't quite been long enough. Alright, well, we'll go turn this in, and then check again. Let's make sure that I have some coal. It looks like I need to pick up some more coal while I'm there, because 44 coal is definitely not going to get me through another rip. So, out I go. Oh, okay. I see that there is a section here on the phone that shows me that the previous poll ended 12 minutes ago. So It didn't take me too long, I don't think, to make this pole after that. So I'll turn this in, and then probably enough time will have gone by for me to see where we're at on that.
Hello.
I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up, and then we'll see. Yes, so wizard is the answer. So I will put a little box around wizard over here. And what do you think? Shall we make a character? Is that a good idea? We could do that real fast and see what we've got. The good news about a wizard is that I can be in Kinos and not have to be in the terrible town of Freeport. So let's see here. I will go ahead and let's see if I can remember how to do this. I think it's save UI settings. Probably already have my UI settings saved, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because that's the way I'm feeling about it. Alright, so let's see here. We'll go to camped character select, and then we're going to be able to make a character. And definitely, I don't think I really care a great deal about what class it is, so we got to think about what's kind of the funniest thing we can do. So if we're gonna make a wizard, we're gonna say create standard character, right? So we'll go to mage, and we have here wizard, warlock, illusionist, coercer, conjurer, and necromancer. Now we're gonna choose wizard because that's what was voted on. So it says wizard. Never cross a wizard. We excel at making our enemies explode in dramatic fashion. That's a quote from Al-Kabor, Archmage of Eridan. The wizard can unleash the poorest... Nope, not the poorest. That would be funny too, but we're going to try that again. The wizard can unleash the purest forms of destruction by harnessing the arcane magics of fire and ice. Channeling the full force of these elements into deadly focus, no other type of mage is able to match the wizard's ability to inflict such great devastation upon a single target. Wizards depend on intelligence as their primary stat because it determines maximum power and increases damage. Mind you, this write-up is for live, not so much for Origins. So, we're going to go next, and then now is when we get to choose what kind of a class we want to play. I don't want to play evil simply because I don't want to start in Freeport. It could be funny to be, I don't know, it could be funny, but it's not funny enough to be worth playing in that terrible place. So, I'm going to look this over. Now, you could be an evil race and then betray, and so then you could still have the funniness and not have to suffer the consequences of living in Freeport. But I think I won't do that. So, for the neutral classes available, we have Rotanga, Barbarian, Erudite, Human, Half-Elf, Gnome, or Kara. And for the good classes available, we have Dwarf, Froglock, High Elf, Wood Elf, and Halfling. Now, of these options, my idea of the funniest is going to be the Halfling, because the concept of a Halfling wizard amuses me. Now, male or female, I don't think that I care deeply whether it's a halfling male or a halfling female doing the casting. We'll go ahead and let's see. We'll do the female because the female can wear weird things sometimes. So we're gonna go ahead and do the female. Go to next. And for fun, I'm gonna randomize and see what kind of interesting things we can get. That's kind of nice. A flower in the hair, a little wizard with a flower in the hair. Might start with that. How about if we do let's see, let's do the eyebrows and have them, we want them curved, I think, angled, maybe angled up. Let's try the eyebrow. What if we angled down? We definitely want it curved. And the eye color. What's a good eye color for a halfling? No, I'm making a halfling. As a matter of fact, Bugajoa. I'm not sure. I think, you know what? Nobody wants to make a brown-eyed wizard, so let's make a brown-eyed wizard. How about that? All right, there we go. That's a nice brown. So I would like to make the eyes a little less intelligent, I think, because that strikes me as humorous. So there we go. Body, let's see. Skin color, I don't care about the skin color. Size, smaller is better. Age, how about as young as possible? I like the young, effeminate halfling with the flower in its hair. It's, seems like a good time. Let's see the hair. Now, there are options for the hair, but we want the one with the flower, of course. So, looks fine to me. Great. Next. And we definitely want the Queen's Colony. That's actually the only choice for the good people right now, so makes it an easy one, right? Now, Anashti Sul is the one we want to be on. Dozakar is the PvP server for Origins. I'm not into PvP, so the load on both is heavy right now. Population is high in here, so let's see. What do we want for a name? Halfling wizard. Let's choose some random names and see if that springs anything to mind. None of these are even remotely interesting. So let's ignore that and just think about this for a moment. What do we want to do? Who is our little wizardly gnome? I think it might be Jebonabee. Jebonabee seems to be a lovely Jebonabee. I like it. Jebonabee, the halfling gnomish wizard. Why do I keep saying gnomish? I don't know. It just makes me happy. It feels a little, something about it feels a little gnomish. All right, but we're gonna go with play and ready to go. So this is how you make a character on EverQuest 2 if you're me.
Welcome to Morrak,
Now,
the world
I
of
want to
EverQuest
load
2.
some UI on here because I don't like to run around without any good UI going on. This is not the way we play this game. So I'm going to set my UI to Copernicus settings because I know that those are good. I just now logged off from him. And boom, now we can see things and know what's happening. So I'm going to send a tell to Elixia. Let's see if I can get an invite to the guild. Alright, now, start off on this boat. And you start off with very little in the way of things on your hotbar. And the first thing I'm going to do is remove one of those things from my hotbar. And then, because I like things the way I like them, I'm also going to move my sprint off of my primary bar. First thing I want to do is have a look at my, even before that, I want to stick my ranged attack right there, even though it's not going to be relevant for this character because this character is a wizard. I still just want to stick it there because it's what I'm used to. So, looking through real quick, Elixia needs to know the command. So, let me do that real quick. And that way, make things simple for him. There we are, to invite me to the guild. Alright, moving back to this. Most of these things or that I don't already have on here aren't really necessary on here. So we're good on all that. And what I have right now is Cold Whirl. I'm going to accept this invitation to Hand of the Light, which is our guild. So Cold Whirl is going to be it's a damage over time. 1 cold damage every 4 seconds. It also decreases mitigation of the target versus elemental by 20. So that's going to be something we're going to want to do early on. Lightning burst is just a straight damage. So we can look and see a little bit more by examining these. This duration of this is 24 seconds. That's going to show up in our spell effects windows over here. And it's recasts every 10 seconds. There's no need to recast it every 10 seconds because it's still going. The lightning burst is one that you're going to want to keep recasting. It recasts every 3 seconds. So, alright. Probably we would like to decrease the mitigation versus elemental prior to hitting it with other things. Alright. So, where are we? I need to go talk to the captain still, I think. So we talked to Captain Farlos. Yeah, there we go.
'Tis good to see you awake. You seem a little squiffy. Least you cheated death.
To respond to the captain and other characters you will meet, left-click on the response text.
Alright. So we will left-click on the response text that says, "Where am I?"
Me apologies.
I say, "Who are you?"
I am Captain Drake Varlos, and this here fine ship is the Far Journey.
How did I get here?
Me hearties pulled you from the sea, you and those other bilge rats. Do you remember?
Vaguely. Where are we headed? We're heading to the Isle of Refuge, he says.
Don't want the ship to come apart on these high winds, do you?
Aye, aye, Captain.
You think she'd never seen a gnome before?
Alright, and now we have the very first quest. And so we're going to be given,
Oh, there, the seas are getting a bit angry. Go speak to me first mate, Wowland. He might have something for you to do.
I say, okay.
The captain has given you a quest. Left-click on the Quest Journal button to open the quest journal.
Well, it just calls it journal, not quest journal. So we look at that, and that's just telling us what our quest is. And in this case, our quest is to come talk to Wallen.
Oh, hey there. You startled me.
Sorry about that.
Can't seem to find me hat.
Do you need some help?
Sure. Me needs you to go looky in them there boxes, and if you find it, let me know.
Okay.
You completed the first part of the quest. As you complete quests and defeat enemies, you earn experience points. This is represented in your experience point display. Filling your experience point display is always a requirement to gain your next level. As you gain levels, you will gain access to more powerful skills and abilities.
Alright, so now, knowing that vital information, we should go and check these boxes.
Move your mouse pointer over the boxes. Notice that your mouse pointer changes shape again, and the boxes start to glow. Double left-click to open each of the boxes.
Alright, so now we're going to double left-click as it tells us. Oh, look, the box is empty. Next box.
This screen shows the contents of the box you just opened. Left-click on the Loot All button to take the items from the box.
So just to show you, we've got a small bag. It holds 4 slots. We've got Wallen's hat, which, as you can see, we don't have a lot on right now. We've got on a wizard's robe, mitigation of 4. We've got on wizard's pants, also mitigation of 4. And we've got on wizard's slippers, which is also a mitigation of 4. We also have a wizard's staff, which is 1 to 3 damage, delay of 2.3 seconds. So we're not exactly looking real hot at the moment, but this is going to give us Wallen's hat, which is garbage. and threadbare tunic, which is slightly better than our wizard's robes. So, go ahead and loot this. And it's going to ask us if we're sure that we want to loot that. We do. And we're going to go ahead for funsies and put on the threadbare tunic, replacing the wizard's robe immediately. Now, how about this next one? The box is empty, it says. All right. So now that we have the hat, we're going to take that back to Wallen.
Ah, me hat! Was worried. See, this hat gives me the luck.
Glad to help.
Now me is safe, thanks to ye. Here, take this charm. You may find a use for it.
It's a good thing that the hat is lucky,
Well,
because it
now,
certainly didn't have any
Ingrid
mitigation.
over there can show you the rest of the ship. Me needs to plot the course to the Isles now.
All right. Excellent. Now we have a mariner's charm. And we speak to Ingrid. Ingrid is over here.
Hello. How are you?
Good, thanks. How about you?
I am fine. Just after the last pickup, I have been working extra hard since Vim said she would give me the piece of Luckland she found.
Vim?
Yes. Vim, the merchant over there. She found a small piece of the moon and is having me work for it. Maybe you can go buy it from her for me.
Sure, but I have no money.
Maybe you have something she will buy. Why don't you go talk to her?
And she's essentially saying,
is a
oh, well.
special type of character who buys and sells things. Find and double left click on Merchant Vim to start a transaction.
All right. So she wants me to buy the thing for her by selling the things that I have. Isn't that fancy? So we're going to hop over to Merchant Vim, who's standing over here.
This is the merchant screen, where all buying and selling takes place. Money comes in 4 denominations: copper, silver, gold, and platinum. Each type of coin is worth 100 times more than the previous one. For example, 100 copper pieces equals 1 silver piece. But right now, as this display shows, you have no money, so left-click on the Sell tab.
All right, so now we're going to learn how to sell an item. So we go there, we sell this otherwise useless mariner's charm.
Congratulations. Now left-click.
I'm sorry, I didn't wait for that to finish. All right, so we need to purchase this shard of blue coin so that we can continue this quest. So there we are, and you'll note that it costs 54 silver. We currently have 84 silver, so that's going to leave us with 30.
You have made the first of many purchases. Now close the merchant window and speak to Ingrid to complete the quest.
Okay, so we're going to close this window. We're going to go over and speak to Ingrid again.
You got the shard! Great! Now I can stop doing this work and enjoy the rest of this trip. Here is some coin for your help.
Thanks.
Captain Varlos looks like he is trying to get your attention.
All right, so now we go back over to the man with the big old book over his head. It's an indication.
Avast ye, we need to talk.
What is it?
Well, 'tis bit of a problem. You see, there be rats on board. The vermin keep eating the supplies, and I need ya to go feed them to the deep afore they eat anything else.
All right, so we can probably handle that. So you want me to kill them?
Yeah, that's what we'd be needing.
How do you expect me to kill them?
With this ear club. It is nice and splintered. Sure to cause them some pain.
Yes, it's very important to cause the rats pain as we kill them.
If you drag and drop items onto the paper doll display, your character will attempt to equip that item. If the item cannot be equipped, it will automatically be stored into the first available inventory slot. Try auto-equipping the club.
For me, I normally just double-click it and it'll go right in. But for display's sake, just to show you how this works, demonstrate it for you, we'll drag and drop it. All right. So now this one does 1 to 3 damage in 1.9 seconds with a 2.4 rating. It's a little bit better than the wizard staff that we used, not at all. And so, off we go. We have to kill the rats. So, being us, we will do a little bit of cold whirl, and that will automatically start your melee attack right there. Turn it on as soon as you do
Be sure
that.
to take everything you can from a fallen opponent. Many seemingly worthless items can be valuable to merchants or other players.
Alright, so we click this, we loot the rodent meat, and we come on to kill this rat over here. And level 2 it is. And now back over to Captain Barbas. However, let's not forget to check this out, because we have a new spell here. This inflicts 16 to 26 heat damage on target, so we'll want to use that after we decrease mitigation versus elemental damage. It says resistibility increases against targets higher than level 21. So this is all very normal. It stuns the target. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move this down below, well, basically. I think what I'll do is move this here, actually. No, I'll move this here, and I'll move this here, and we'll start like that with that spell. Alright. Now, speak to Captain Barbas. Okay, here we are.
You made quick work of them vermin.
Oh, awesome, Tiger Bear. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm going to say thanks.
Wait, is that Quick, Ingrid! Secure the loot! Or be a Dakota of the foul! Quick now! Secure those chests! Everyone
And the dragon has done a great breath of fire upon our boat.
Blimey, that was close. Been nearly 2 months since the last reported sighting to one of them. That damned goblin has escaped. But look, me beautiful ship is on fire. He must put an end to his life before he tears me apart.
Alright, let's go take care of this goblin. So we're just going to wait for him to run around here. Okay, we killed the escaped goblin. Very good. Came level 2 and saved the chip all at the same time. So now we're going to come back up here.
Saved the far journey and me crew. It seems you proved to be quite a hero. Well, with the help of that young lass there, you do.
And I say it was nothing.
There be the island of refuge. Get ready to drop anchor. Just let me know when you want to go ashore.
Okay.
Ingrid, swing the lead and prepare to drop anchor. So, you ready to go ashore, matey?
Why, yes, we certainly are.
Don't you mind. We get paid to do that.
Good point. Alright, so that is the boat ride at the beginning of the game. It's pretty straightforward. There's a shiny right here that I really want to get, but this dude was here first, so I'm going to let him get it in spite of my desire. So, off I go. The very first quest you're going to get here comes from Murar Shar. You will see Murar Shar over the rest of this game.
I have been anticipating your arrival. Your skills are greatly needed here at the Queen's colony.
Alright, and I'm going to say, who are you?
I am Murar Shar, General of the Royal Antonican Guard and Protector of Queen Antonia Bale. I have been sent here to uncover the source of the disturbance plaguing this island.
And I'm going to say, what is the purpose of this colony?
The Queen's colony was established as a training ground for prospective citizens of Kinos. Our great city needs valiant defenders.
Tell me more about Kinos.
Kinos is a grand city that stands on the western shores of the continent of Karen. It is a place where truth and justice are valued above all else. It is ruled by the brave and noble Queen Antonia Bale. Our kingdom is a bright light that stands against the dark empire of Freeport.
Tell me about Freeport.
Freeport is a city of cruelty and malice, governed by its selfish overlord, Lucan Delir. He is a dangerous madman who seeks to conquer Norath and hold us all in his iron grip. Beware his lies.
You notice he does not attempt to say my name. Jebonabee is not written into his system here. Alright, so I will say, I will do so. How can I be of service to the colony?
Ah, your future is as bright as your heart, but there are perils in this world that only the mightiest of adventurers may overcome. Live for Kinos, and Kinos will live for you.
I am ready to learn, Murar.
I am very glad to hear it. Go and speak to Trainer Hale McGinnis, just northwest of here near the archway. I've written his name in your journal. He will teach you the basics of combat.
I will do as you ask. Alright, and now we have this quest which will give us in the end these lovely mitts for our hands. Currently we have nothing on our hands, so we're just going around all mittless. These will be our very first part of our hands armor.
Good luck.
Good thing to have. And I say thanks, because I am a polite kind of halfling. So, off we go to check out Trainer Hale McGinnis, Master of Combat Training.
Hello there. I'm here to teach new recruits the basics of combat. Murar told me you show great promise.
I'd like to learn about combat so that I can help the colony.
Okay, let's see what you're made of. One of the nearby sparring partners to my left will be happy to test your mettle. Challenge any one of them and return to me when you've earned a victory.
And I'll say, how do I challenge a foe in battle?
Starting combat is easy. Just use your mouse pointer to left-click on an opponent. Its name will appear in the target window in the upper left of your screen. You can also use the Tab key to cycle through nearby targets, or the F8 key to select your closest enemy.
Alright, how do I begin the battle?
If you're close enough to your foe and want to start hitting it with your weapon, either click your melee attack button on your hotbar, or press the tilde key. Or you can begin by using one of your spells or combat arts to get the enemy's attention. Remember, you must be close enough to actually hit them.
So I can fight anyone or anything I want?
You can fight most non-player characters and creatures that you find outside your city, whether outdoors or in dungeons. Many non-player characters in the cities are there to help or give you quests, so you can't attack some of them. If you try, you'll get a message telling you that they aren't valid targets.
Tell me about melee combat.
Melee combat means a toe-to-toe physical confrontation. It is a combination of auto-attack damage that happens automatically when you press the melee attack button on your hotbar, or the tilde key and spells or combat arts that you use in close proximity to your foe.
What classes specialize in melee combat?
Sturdy fighters such as guardians, berserkers, monks, and paladins stand at the front lines of battle facing the enemy. Crafty scouts such as swashbucklers, rangers, troubadours, and dirges generally stay close to their foes as well, but prefer to launch attacks from the back or side where they are less likely to be counterattacked.
Tell me how to begin a fight.
Starting combat is easy.
I already
use
did
your
that.
mouse pointer to left-click on
Man,
an
let
opponent.
me get
If
through
you're
this.
close
Sorry
enough
about
to
that.
You can fight
Let's
most
do,
non-player
tell me
characters and
about
creatures that you
ranged
find
combat.
outside. Ranged combat means that you put some distance between yourself and the enemy. This can be done with weapons such as bows or throwing daggers, or with spells and arts that can be cast from a distance.
How do I launch a ranged attack?
If you have a ranged weapon and ammunition, you can initiate ranged combat by using the ranged attack button on the abilities tab of your knowledge book. You can drag this key to your hotbar if you like. Remember, you must have a ranged weapon in the ranged slot of your inventory window and the correct type of ammunition in the ammo slot.
What classes specialize in ranged combat?
While most classes have the ability to attack from a distance, scout classes such as swashbucklers, troubadours, dirges, and particularly rangers specialize in ranged physical attacks. Mages, priests, and paladins have spells that do damage to their foes from a distance.
How do I tell if I can use spells or arts from a distance?
You can right-click on a spell or arts icon and select Examine to see what its range of effect is. In addition, if you target something and the icon for one of your spells or arts turns a dark red, that means the opponent is out of range of that ability.
What kind of rewards can I earn in battle?
Victory in battle can be very rewarding. Successful combat against a worthy opponent awards you experience to help you advance your level, as well as a chance at coin, usable items, and other valuables.
What do you mean by a worthy opponent?
You don't earn rewards for defeating foes that are too far below your level. If your target has a gray name, it means it is very weak and won't provide any benefit for beating it. Talk to trainer Marla Gilliam for more information on evaluating your opponents.
Are certain types of targets more rewarding than others?
The tougher a foe, the better its chances to provide a valuable reward. Though defeating enemies alone provides nice rewards, defeating heroic enemies that require a group is even more rewarding. The very best items come from banding together multiple groups to defeat epic opponents.
Alright, I'm going to say I'll come back later. Welcome to the channel, Freddy Ruxpin. Alright, now, we have here 3 different opponents. We have a weak sparring partner, an average sparring partner, or a formidable sparring partner. And for fun, we of course will take the formidable sparring partner. There we go. Alright, he was very formidable. To show you the difference, we may as well do the weak one, and you'll see how that changes. Of course, I don't have my second one, my fire chamber, available, but it doesn't matter because he is, after all, a weak sparring partner. Alright, let's go back to Trainer Hale McGinnis.
So, did you defeat the sparring partner like I asked?
I was victorious!
Great work! You've proven your worth and are ready for greater challenges. If you want further instruction later, just come see me. But right now, you must report back to Murar, so that you can discover what's behind the trouble here at the colony.
I'll report back to Murar. Now, as you'll recall, he's the little cat dude over here. They're called Karens, and he's the dude who you talk to over and over again during this quest line.
Hello again. Have you passed the test that Trainer Hale McGinnis set before you?
I defeated my sparring partner and learned about combat.
I'm glad to hear it, for now we have need of our courage. Until recently, our colony lived in peace with a clan of goblins known as the Sapswill that reside on the other side of the island. But for some unknown reason, they have begun to attack us. We need to begin an investigation at once to get to the bottom of this. Will you help?
Would be glad to. What can I do?
The goblins have started attacking us from the west. We're not sure what sparked the uprising, but they are now relentlessly trying to invade the colony. I need you to go see how our defenders are doing at the west gate and gather any information you can. Speak with Sergeant Haggus at the barricades and see what you can do to assist him.
I will do so. Alright, so now we have our quest reward over here in the left window. It's those mitts I mentioned before. Very nice. We'll go ahead and accept those and put them on because we currently have nothing in our hand slots. Then we have a new quest being offered to us, which is going to give us some bracers for our forearms. That's going to be really nice since, again, we don't have anything on right now. So let's go ahead and accept that
Good
quest.
luck.
Thanks. Alright, so we report to Sergeant Haggus outside the West Colony. But before we do, we go and gather these roots over here because we're that kind of people. One of the things that is most difficult about the island is that you don't have a lot of room in your bags. As you can see, right now you start out with 2 bags. This one holds 12 slots and this one holds 4 slots. And the thing is, that's actually a lot more than we started with originally. I believe we had one bag at the beginning of this game when it came out, I think. And I'm pretty sure we did not have a second bag. And you also have some other slots that don't have bags in them that will hold 1 item each until you put a bag into those. So you just don't have a whole lot of room, especially if you go around gathering like I do. However, because I have other characters on this server, I already have a lot of room in my shared bank with my other characters. So it's not going to be that big of a deal for me, but it's something to keep in mind if you're making a brand new character and you don't have any other characters on the server, that it will be a struggle to continue buying bags, which you buy from this dude right here. I believe he has some kind of a bag. There it is right there. It's a rawhide leather rucksack. It holds 4 things. It's not huge. but it is better than nothing, so I'll try to give you part of the experience of playing this server for the first time. You can come and talk to this guy. Okay, he says, "Hello, my friend. I have the pleasure of serving Kinos by explaining the role of crafting and trade skills to newly arrived heroes such as you. By taking on the role of an artisan, you can help expand the influence of our fair city in worldwide commerce." And I say, how does one take up crafting? Crafting, or trade skilling as some call it, involves taking ingredients harvested or obtained in the world, mixing them with the proper fuel, and carefully following a specific recipe to create something new and useful for yourself or your fellow citizens. Just as you can gain levels by adventuring, you have a separate artisan level that increases as you earn experience crafting. And so I say, where does one perform crafting? He says, crafting takes place in workshops, just like the one we have here on this island. Inside this doorway, you will find the supplies, recipe books, and devices you will need to build, cook, scribe, sew, and create all manner of useful goods. When you arrive in our grand city, you will find the entrances to workshops scattered throughout your home village. I say, can I make a variety of items? He says, as you practice your craft, you will learn to make a variety of products. But as you advance in your profession, you will specialize in certain types of goods. If you buy the recipe books you'll find inside the workshop, you will see the types of items you can make. I say, what could I specialize in? He says, you might choose to become a provisioner that makes food and drink, a woodworker that crafts totems and staves, an armorer that forges plate and chain armor, a sage that scribes potent spells for mages and priests, or one of many other noble professions. And I say, where do I learn recipes? He says, basic recipes can be bought for a small fee from a merchant inside any workshop, including the one here. Rare recipes can be obtained by adventuring in the wilds of Morrak. You may want to trade goods or services with other adventurers and artisans to obtain such valuable recipes. You can view your recipe book by pressing the N key. I say, what can I do with the items I make? He says, you can either use the items yourself or make a tidy profit by selling them to others. A skilled artisan is always in demand for the goods they provide, so learn your craft well, and you will always have a place in Kinos society. I say, do you have any further advice? And he says, here is a note that will begin your instruction. You may start crafting in our workshop here, or wait until you arrive in Kinos. Just right-click on the note in your inventory and examine it to begin. Your skills will soar in no time. I say, thank you for the guidance. And of note, that write-up was written clearly with live in mind, because some of it isn't actually accurate here on this server, but it's close. Alright, so we have seeking a trade skill profession. We'll accept that quest. Now we have to get off the island before that's going to be anything we can do anything with. As soon as you leave this island, you can't come back. Probably ever for the duration of Origins. The character that you leave with is going to be on this server. There's a wholesaler here, and basically he just sells you can get Artisan Essentials Volume 2, but otherwise he just sells some crafting goods, some fuels. Okay, this guy says you show interest in the crafting trade. Good. Kinos can always use talented artisans within the walls of our great city. I can help you get started and offer you some of the basic recipes at no charge. Would you be interested? Why, yes. Please teach me. There. Now you have the basic recipes and the knowledge to begin crafting. Everything else you need to get yourself started can be found right here. And I say, I will start on that now. I receive Artisan Essentials Volume 2. So if I go here, then I have this in my bag, and I can right-click it and scribe, or I can just double-click it and that will scribe it. So now I actually have some recipes in my recipe book. I don't have enough things to actually be able to make much with that right now, but it's there. It's a thing. I'm going to hop on back out of here now. Okay, so that's where that guy is. We have a mender over here, so when we get damaged, so when we die, in other words, and our gear gets damaged, we can come to the mender, talk to him, and for a small fee, he says, "Hello there, Jebonabee. Menders like me repair your equipment after it is damaged due to death. For more information on repairs, speak to trainer Zidget Sprogrutter nearby. I'll outfit your gear for a small fee, but vendors in Kinos won't be quite so generous. And I say thanks. I'll do so. Alright. Then we'll come over here. Trainer Zidget's Frogrutters right here. Knowledge of repairs and banking.
Mending and banking. Banking and mending.
Okay.
Which do you want to hear about?
Let's go for tell me about banking.
You already have an account with the Kinos Exchange, and luckily for you, we have a branch right here in the colony. Go see Banker Bogfoot to access your account. Additional branches can be found in your home village when you reach the city, as well as other parts of Kinos. You cannot access your bank from Freeport.
But I say, how do I open my bank?
Inside the bank, your mouse pointer will turn into a dial icon when hovered over a banker. Just click on the banker to open your bank window. You'll see 8 general slots and 4 shared slots. You can put bags or containers in your bank to increase the number of available slots.
I say, how do I make deposits and withdrawals?
Coins and items can be dragged from your inventory to the bank window. To drag one item from a stack, hold down the control key as you drag it. To drag a certain number of coins or items, hold down the shift key and drag. Then, enter the quantity.
What are shared bank slots?
Items, but not coins, placed in your shared slots can be accessed by other characters on your account that are also citizens of Kinos. Lore and no trade items cannot be put into the shared slots. Characters that are Freeport citizens cannot access a Kinos bank.
Are any other banking facts? No. Any other banking facts I should know?
If you choose to join a guild made up of your fellow players one day, you can access your guild bank by right-clicking on a banker and selecting Guild Bank.
I want to learn about mending items.
Weapons and armor wear down when you die during combat. When they are down to 0 durability, you can no longer equip them. You can visit a mender, such as Mender Manus at the Colony Forge, to get them repaired. Speak to Trainer Shay Seawind if you wish to learn more about the effects of death.
Already did tell me about banking, so we're not going to do that. We're going to go with I'll return for training later. Alright, excellent. So now we know how to do all that. The banker is right here. He's pretty straightforward. I don't know if he'll say what he's doing or not. He does. He says, as a banker, it is my job to hold items and coin for you for safekeeping. If you would like to learn more, speak with Trainer Zidget Sprogrutter. She is just east of me, around the corner. That's who we just talked to. So, since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and dump some things into... You know what? I'll use this bank so that I'm not doing something with this character right now that I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't already have characters here. I don't know if I'll stick with that, but that's what we'll do for the moment. Another thing I'm going to show you, because I don't want to keep this wizard staff, but here's what it looks like. You can click Control, hold it down, and then click on the thing, and you can see what the staff looks like. I don't really have a lot of interest in the visuals so much, but since it is sort of the thing that you started the island with, it's kind of cool. I'm going to go to the wardrobe, and you can take an item that you want to keep as an appearance item and you don't care about otherwise, and you can add it to the wardrobe, and that's going to get it out of your primary bags. In fact, it gets it out of all of your bags because it becomes a part of your wardrobe. You can make sets and things in the wardrobe and use it to display different looks later on. So there it is in my wardrobe, and I'm going to do the same thing with the wizard's robe because, again, I really don't care about it, but we'll toss it into there. Okay, and so after having done that and thrown these items into our bank slots, we can close this, and you see that we don't have anything except for this starting a trade skill profession in our bags. And in fact, there's absolutely no reason for me to go around carrying that, so I'm just going to toss it into here with that other stuff. That way, it'll take a little bit longer for my bags to get full while I'm out here adventuring. This Seeking a Trade Skill Profession quest is not going to be updated until I go meet with the delegate of a trade skill society, which will be after we leave this island. So I'm going to uncheck that from my journal. I don't need a reminder of something that I can't actually do anytime soon. There's a hawk feather. That'll go with the hawk feather collection. I'm going to try to finish the feathers collections and the seashell collection before I leave the island. This is definitely the best place to do that. So you want to try to finish everything in this island before you leave, because again, you do not get to come back to it after you leave. I'm updating Claw right now. He was noting what he called a, let's see here, he said a crystal cannon. So it's not a glass cannon, it's a crystal cannon in this case. I'm gonna say that's a better kind of cannon. I don't know. So, we'll go ahead and harvest these. There is another shiny over here. But also, there's a quest that I want to go ahead and pick up right over here that drops from crabs. It's not always right over here. You can go to either place and get it to drop. But basically, I would like to start on it as soon as possible. It'll drop occasionally, and oh, how funny! It says that I will die a lot with my wizard. He said he has a level 20 something wizard. I don't mind dying. So that's absolutely fine with me to die. Alright, so here it is. A sandy bone shard. That's exactly the drop I was looking for. Hopefully this will work as it ought to. We'll examine it. It says, this old and yellowed piece of bone seems to be more than it first appears. Intricate etchings appear on the surface as you brush away the sand. So we'll take a closer look. And we receive this quest. Says I found a sandy bone shard in the claws of a crab here on the island of refuge. After looking closely at it, I could see some designs etched on the surface. If I could find the other pieces and fix them, I might have something to take from the island when I leave. And you see that the reward is a necklace. It's a decent necklace for a mage, and in this case, a wizard. So it appears that as if there were once other pieces to the token, and this is only one part. If you could find the rest and a chain or strap, you might be able to fashion a necklace from the repaired trinket and gain a memento of the island. The other pieces may be near where you found this one. Now, as you can see, we now have feathers on the crabs. So that indicates that we need them for a quest. We're going to go ahead and grab this. And if we look in the journal, one thing you can see is that the lowest level quest we have is seeking a trade skill profession. That one is trade skilling, but the next lowest level quest we have is a presence of evil. So if we want to do it in order of when it goes gray, we should work on a presence of evil next. We did get this. I'm happy to have it picked up, but I don't know that I want to necessarily continue on it right now. I'm going to go ahead and report to Sergeant Haggus outside the archway. And on the way, I'm going to grab this shiny. Already getting duplicates, man. What a disaster, huh? Okay, let's go talk to Sergeant Haggus over here in Sunset Meadow.
These scampering whelps will never break through. Oh, hello there. What's that Murar sent you?
Yes, I was wondering how our defenses are holding.
Well, the goblins aren't very powerful. They're definitely tenacious. It's almost as if they have no mind of their own and are throwing themselves at us like flies onto a swatter.
Could you use some help?
Aye, you're a gutsy one, aren't you? Well, I'll give you a chance to prove your strength. Fend off some of these invading sapswill, and we'll see how you fare.
Will do. All right. And so the next section of this is, as you might imagine, killing goblins. We're going to go way over here and start on this guy right here. Fizzling's a thing with mages. A piece of zombie rotted flesh. A piece of rotted zombie flesh, even. Now, that is a lore and legend piece, but on this server, you have to have the lore and legend book before you can start the quest. So double clicking on that will not help you on this server as far as getting the quest to start. That's only going to come into play later when you are when you have access to the location of lore and legend books.
By the hilt of the claymore, you're a strong one. I could use your strength for another task.
I'm ready.
A platoon of my soldiers set out a while ago and hasn't returned. Search Sunset Meadow for these soldiers and return to me with your findings.
I will. I've got bad news for you, Sergeant Haggus. Things are not good over here. We've got dead soldiers everywhere. And when we click the bodies, we have this pop up out of the ground to come try to kill us. Alright. Now we'll come back over to Sergeant Haggus again.
They'll pay for this. You've done well. Sometime when you're not so busy, maybe you take a job with the Kinos Guard and we can fight alongside one another again. Take this information back to Murar. Farewell.
Farewell to you. And so now we hop back over to the cat that gave us the first quest and continues this quest line for us. Murar Shar.
Yes, these reports are disturbing indeed. I cannot place the source that tainted our beloved soldiers.
I agree, there's something behind all of this.
I can assure you that we will find out, though. In the meantime, here is a reward for your continued assistance.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and accept these bracers and put those on. I'm ready to help now.
Ready to continue, eh? The dead soldiers were resurrected by something most evil and bent on destroying the colony. Recently, the wildlife on the island has felt the effects of the evil as well. I must get some samples from those creatures so that I can examine them more closely.
I could do that.
Thank you, but I have already sent a skilled hunter to do the job. Maybe you should check up on him, though, and make sure things are going well. He's been out in the tainted forest for a while now. Look for Shadur up the stairs on the north side of Sunset Meadow.
Will do. Alright, now we have a quest that's going to end in us getting a hat. We do not currently have a hat, so that will be very helpful.
Thank you for the help.
Of course. Now you'll note that we're already 96% into this level, so we're almost level 3 already. Even on this server, which levels significantly slower than the other one. However, I'm going to stop and gather some of these dens. I could just not do the gathering and the collections. The trade skilling until I get to town. But I may as well do a little bit of gathering along the way. I won't do anything too crazy, but just to kind of get my trapping skill up. I like to keep my harvesting skills at least close to maxed out as I level, and it prevents issues later. And the same with this wood over here. And there's a little bit of mining over there that can be done, so. Alright, my foresting is up to 10. And I will go and get some of this stone here. And hopefully get my mining up to 10 as well. In the starter area, you don't have anything that's aggro yet because they're just trying to get you to understand the way that this game works. So everything's all nice and friendly for now. Now we're going toward the tainted forest, so we'll go up these stairs right here. On the map, there it is. And I leveled going up the stairs by going into the new area, the tainted forest.
Hello.
Alright, he says, "Rah, the day is grim. Has this world lost all of its goodness and left us with this cold husk? I suppose you were sent by Murar, but my job has been halted." And I say, "Easy there. All is not lost. I can help." Help was a word I didn't expect to hear, but I'm most likely beyond helping. See, I was sent here to collect samples from the wildlife that has become tainted, but on my hunt I was ambushed by the nearby goblins. My bow and arrows were lost in the scuffle. And I say, "Maybe I can find your bow and arrows." He says, "I'm sure my bow is in the hands of those tainted sapswill tappers that ambushed me. You might try, but I don't expect much." And I say, "Don't worry, I'll find it." Alright. And so, just kind of seeing where we're at, this is a level 3 quest. And I am, in fact, level 3, conveniently. So, here it goes. I see the book at Joe says, "Funny thing is that the Freeport starting area does have aggro now in the first area." Well, see, that's because Freeport is absolutely miserable, comparatively. So, there's that to keep in mind. Somehow I failed to move this damage over time appropriately. Everything's all messed up now. Alright, so this one recasts 8 seconds. It's a damage over time. Lasts 14 seconds. And it inflicts 2 to 3 heat on target instantly and every 2 seconds. So it's heat damage, so we want to push that after the decrease of mitigation versus elemental. Probably we want to stick that before the one that just does straight damage. That's also heat damage, alright? So we will once more change our hotbar settings to allow draggable, and we're going to move this down to before the little face of agony. Alright, now you'll notice that we have 2 different guys here. And we can go ahead and tag them. So we could say this one is number 2 and this one is number 1. However, we can't tag them because we're not in a group, but that's how we would tag them if we were. So we're going to back up a ways and then begin casting our dots on that guy first, and then we'll start on this guy. Did not find any items there. Nothing doing so far. Got another group of 2. Now what we can do is get another dot going on him while we work on this guy. currently have food and drink running because that came with us and it auto-equipped. So, just so you know, this is with food and drink going. Now let's go update with Predator Shadur.
Well met.
He says, my bow. You did this for me? Maybe this day is not so bad. Maybe you found my arrows too. And I say, there were no arrows to be found. He says, well, there goes the day again. What's a bow without arrows? The only good sticks I've found to make arrow shafts are by that spider den. Arrgh. And I say, be at ease, friend. I can get the sticks. Then we'll notice that we have another quest that's opened up right here by Dianiera, or whatever you say that like.
I'm trying to listen to the silence. Whisper, please.
And I say, listen to the silence?
Away from the noise over in the camp. I like standing here. You can see where you've been and where you can go. You know what awaits you if you go further in. If only everything were as simple as that, where all your choices are clear and you can see what awaits.
View's not so clear from here.
True, but it's clearer than, say, the difference between good and evil. All those around here who are good avoid me because I was born evil. I grew up in Freeport. Does that make them better than me somehow? That I chose to leave Freeport to work on behalf of the Queen only recently? Who knows? Yet, I must be evil. I can sense the evil in others.
You'll notice she has some unresolved psychological issues going on here. So, just to point that out. Alright, what evil do you sense?
They say that there is a taint rising from an unknown source, polluting this place and corrupting the inhabitants. I feel it is much simpler than that. There are spiders in the tainted forest, poisonous ones. With their venom, they can cause untold suffering. The search for evil sometimes has a mundane cause. We must rid the colony of these spiders.
I'll do what I can. Alright, so now we have a quest for an earring. Not an earring. A ring.
It's up to us to find the answers. They're never handed to us.
I'll be back when I'm done with the spiders. Alright, now, just to see where we're at, it looks to me like going and searching for the wood near the spider den in the tainted forest is the next lowest quest. We also have cleared the tainted forest of toxic crawlers. So, we are working in the same vein to complete both of those quests. So we may as well come over this direction towards the spider den, which is over here. Now you'll notice there's a pile of sticks. That's going to be the pile of sticks that we are looking for. But let's go ahead and knock this toxic crawler out. These kind of wander around, so we want to be somewhat careful and try not to get them piled up on you. Alright, let's go ahead and get this guy here out of the way. Now we've got a couple over here. Let's get his attention. And I'm going to pull back out of this spider area. I don't really want any more spider friends joining in. I got the parchment scrap. So, looks like our bags are already getting full. So, we're going to examine this The edges of the parchment are torn and jagged as though ripped from a much larger document. So I'm going to examine the parchment. You can barely make out some writing on this scrap. The toxic crawlers will be useful to cover the totem. The reference to a totem is puzzling. Why would someone want a totem covered in spiders? There must be more pieces of this parchment amongst these toxic crawlers. So we put the parchment away. We now have another quest here. We also need to take the wood back to Predator Shadur, though, so something to keep in mind. And in fact, I'll go ahead and get that done right now.
Good hunt to you.
He says you'd do this for me again? You can fletch these sticks into perfect arrows. You, my friend, have turned my eyes. It's a great day. I know we can beat this menace. And I say, that's the spirit. He says, come to think of it, I did get a few small samples before I lost my bow. Why don't you take them back to Murar to see if they'll do? I say, you've already got some samples. But he says, no, really, go ahead. With your help finding my gear, you've shown that there is light in this dim hour. We will live to fight another day. And I say, great, I know Murar's waiting for them. Alright. All wonderful, lovely. I may as well go turn that in. And we're already level 3, and we're now 40% through level 3. Go turn this in to Murar Shar, and always kind of keep your eye out because often there's a shiny, like there is right there, in this little area where the gathering could commence. There's also shinies, so those are good to have. Now let's turn this in.
I'll need to consult with Mirren about them, but in the meantime, I've arranged with banker Bogfoot to have a reward put into your bank account. Come back to me later, and hopefully these samples will have proven worthy.
Okay, I'm going to accept this Canosian cloth hood reward and put that on. Getting more equipped by the moment. Now, the question is, I like the flower in the hair, so I do want my helmet not to show. I can go to, let's see here, options. Go to options, and then I want to hide head cover. That way I can continue to see this lovely flower, which I think is integral to appreciating the wizardly status of this character. Alright, now I'll say thanks. And pick up the next quest.
Have been examined and my worst fear has been realized. A poisonous mist clings to the tissue, eating and controlling it. I suspect necromancy, but from whom?
And I'll say, I'm guessing you'd like me to find out.
That I do. My best guess is that the goblin leader High Chieftain Grex is involved. He is the most powerful and influential figure to the goblins. If he were somehow corrupted, the goblins would follow any orders he demanded.
And I say, you want me to confront the chieftain now?
First things first. We need to break through to the goblin village. I have assigned this duty to cleric Mara Vane. Seek her out and see how you can help.
Will do. And now I will be able to get a Canosian shawl, which is for shoulders.
She can
Again,
be found
I'm not
at
wearing
the
it
head
now.
of Dead Canyon to the west.
So I'll head there now. Alright, now, what do we want to do? We do, in fact, want to do that next, probably. No, you know what? I may go ahead and do tainted real fast. Let's have to come kill some spiders. Should be pretty quick and easy in this, except that it's going to, I believe, end in killing Soul Spike. So we got that parchment piece. We're going to examine this. It says the edges of the parchment are torn and jagged as though ripped from a much larger document. I'm going to put together the parchment pieces. You line up the parchment pieces. The newest piece adds enough new words that you can read. Toxic crawlers will be useful to cover our tracks. Leave the totem in the eastern rocks. Apparently, Dianera's concern about the spiders is well placed, though not for the reasons she thinks. I must find more of this parchment to learn what this totem means. Okay? So we put the parchment away, and we want to look for something to the east, right? Let's see here what kind of abilities we currently have. Okay. And so, we're going to come and grab this piece of parchment right here. We need to put together all the pieces of the parchment. So, we'll come back over here and examine the parchment once more. Put together the parchment. The last bit of parchment was caught on the web near the large pile of rocks. You piece it together and read, "The toxic crawlers will be useful to cover our tracks. Leave the totem in the eastern rocks beneath Direspike. Direspike must be a tainted spider with greater power. You realize you may have to flush him from his lair by picking off the nearby spiders until he appears to meet your challenge." So I roll the parchment up. You carefully roll the parchment and stow it away. So I put the parchment away. Alright, now. We are being attacked by him because he's nasty. Came out of the rocks to get us, but we want to kind of get out of the way so that we don't get ads. Alright, now we're going to wait for a whole second to open that chest because we don't want opening the chest to trigger a trap and blow us up. Always important to know that chests can be trapped. Scouts can disarm them, but my little wizard is not able to do that. So now I will start to loot this stuff. Then we got Laced Spike, which is usable by this character, but not let's see here. Might be able. No. May as well keep my stick at the moment. Loot a feather. And now we can go back and report that the toxic crawlers are not the source of the taint.
Shh. I'm trying to listen to the silence. Whisper, please.
Found a parchment that hinted Direspike was under the influence of something else.
The influence of something else? But I've sensed the evil in them. They aren't capable of planning to be evil. It must be their poison. It must.
The crawlers were being influenced by a hidden totem.
I was so sure. Well, there goes that theory. Tell me, you may be less biased than someone like me. Do you sense anything in the tainted forest? Anything at all?
There's something that runs deeper than Spider-Man here.
I'm not convinced, but this does throw a gnome wrench into things. I don't believe that there is such a thing as evil. Look at me. I was raised to believe Kinos was a horrible place filled with mindless drones. Once I came of age, I realized that the Overlord's minions were spreading lies.
So you moved to Kinos?
Moved is such a polite way to say it. I betrayed Freeport to do what I felt in my heart was right. And yet, not everyone in Kinos accepts me or my decision. So I came here, where I could help remove this island's taint. The honorable Kinosians won't work with me, so I've had to devise my own theories.
You were wrong about the toxic crawler's poison.
We all make mistakes. Hopefully this is not a mistake I'll live to regret. Are you willing to help me test another theory?
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to accept Spider Fang Ring and equip that. So that'll be good. And then I don't know. It gives agility and strength. It doesn't do as much damage, but that shouldn't be an issue, I think. So I will put it on. Alright, so I'm gonna say sure.
The tainted forest is key. Look for the forest keeper, a treant who lives in a nook in the hillside, just beyond these trees. It was a guardian of this place, and has resisted the taint. It may be willing to speak to you. It chooses not to speak to a betrayer like me.
I'll check into it. Alright, so that gives a little sack, stores 5 slots, and also a little bit of drink.
It's
Always a
up
good
to
thing.
us to find the answers. They're never handed to us.
Glad to be of service. Now let's see here. What do we want to do next? Yeah, okay. Forest Keeper is a treant who is resisting the corruption spreading through the Queen's colony. And if we look, we'll see that he is blinking on our map here. And we'll also see that there are a couple of lovely shinies between us and him. Biggest issue that I'm going to run into soon is that I'm going to run out of space in my bags. But I am about to get a 5-slot bag if I can finish this quest, so there's that to consider.
I must remain strong and vigilant against this. I will not give in to the corruption.
And I say, are you the forest keeper that Dianaria spoke of?
Who's that? Oh, that betrayer. She should go back to Freeport. Yes, I was once a forest keeper, maintaining this wood. But look around you. The other treants have succumbed to the evil that pervades this island. They've become ghosts, trapped between this life and their rebirth.
And I say, can we do anything to stop it?
Trapped in those ghostly forms, they are contributing to the decay of the forest. I've been able to stave off the taint myself, but with so many of my brethren gone, it gets more and more difficult. They must be set free, so that they can be reborn into the earth. Without rebirth, there will be no living saplings.
I say I will set them free. Alright. And so, over here we have the ghostly saplings that he wanted to be set free. However, we need the treants, specifically named treant. So. Ah yes, I also got a new maintain spell over here. Magi Shielding, which increases max health of the caster and increases focus and defense of the caster. So I'll go ahead and put that on. And come and get this shiny over here. We only need one more of these treants, and then we'll have all of that done. Alright, now we can go and return to the forest keeper and hopefully get that bag. That would be nice. It's about time for it, I think.
I must remain strong and vigilant against this. I will not give in to the corruption.
I've released many of the ghosts, but there's no end to them.
Alas, the decay runs too deep. You must learn what horrors those naughty goblins have released. There are still a few of them that are as yet untainted at the last stand, northeasterly of here. Speak to the soothsayer there. He may have ideas. We were friends in the old days.
Alright, I will say I'll do what I can. Stay strong. That is not what I'll be doing yet, I don't think, because I think I have some other things I should probably do first. I do need to get this shiny, and that's shiny because, you know, you just can't run off without the shinies, right? And I will head back toward the well, okay, so first I guess I can go ahead and get this update. But I do want to go back to the encampment so that I can probably visit the banker. Maybe a salesman.
The hand of Kinos reaches far and wide to help those in need.
I guess you know me.
Murar sent word that you were coming. He said to be nice. No worries. I mean only the best. In any case, I'll be doing most of the work for this first task when you're ready.
I'm ready.
You see those ghostly figures down in the canyon? Those are the souls of our scouts who were lost and consumed by evil. I believe that they may be trapped between our world and the next. I think I can resurrect them, if you can just lure them close to me.
Alright, so now I am going to lure these folks over to her. I only have one slot left, so I probably ought not to get this shiny, but it's so tantalizing. I feel like I must. Okay, I'll leave it there. I don't need it. So, what I will do is I'll take a hit on him, and then I'll bring it back over to Cleric Malving. That was 1 of 3. There's 2 of 3. And there's the final update for that.
That was a great game of cat and mouse you pulled there. Nice job. But now for the hard part.
Bring it on.
Long ago there lived a ferocious breed on this island. A species of direwolf that the Sapswill called the Morrak. The Morrak were cleansed from the island so it could be a safer place.
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
The evil that builds on the island has drawn them from their graves, and they hunt again. They are thick through Dead Canyon, and we need to clear a path for our scouts to move forward.
Consider it done. Alright. Now, I'm going to head back to the beginning. I also need to get, that's not the one I need. There's a quest that starts there. Yes, that's killing sharks. There's another one. Where is it, I wonder? There we go. Wobblecogg. I should first go and see if I have anything to sell to this guy. I don't really want to sell the lore and legend pieces, even though I can't use them yet, but I will sell the arachnid legs and crab meats. And I'm a little hesitant on this, but I actually am just going to go ahead and sell this splintered club too. I think, maybe not. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll keep it around. I won't sell it yet. I'll sort my bags. And so I have 3 slots currently available. How much money? Okay, I have 2 silver rather, and 14 copper. So let's see how much it costs for one of those wonderful rucksacks. 1 silver and 80 copper means I can get one. So let's go ahead and buy one. I find that basically buying one every time you have the ability to, when you're on this island and you don't have other characters on the server, is a good idea. So there we go. Now I'm down to 34 copper. You'll recall that I also need to kill crabs for the sandy bone shard.
Why, hello there. I was just sitting here, waiting for the boat to Kinos.
Why are you going to Kinos?
Oh, I'm going there to meet my father. He dropped me off on this island because he was afraid our boat wouldn't make the trip. I begged him to stay, but he said he had urgent news for Kinos.
What was the news?
I'm not quite sure. He was in such a hurry that he never told me. Also, I may have been a little distracted by his ship. It was really amazing.
Why was his ship distracting?
Oh, because it was underwater, of course. Have you ever seen a boat that runs beneath the waves? I certainly haven't. It was such genius. I spent the entire voyage inspecting it.
Go on.
I'm certain he hadn't planned on it falling below the surface. It's just another example of our curse, I suppose.
What curse?
Surely you've heard of the Wobblecogg family curse of miscalculation. No? No. I suppose you haven't, have you? Well, it doesn't appear that the boat is here yet. I imagine I've got time to tell you about our curse if you'd like to hear it.
Yes, I'd like that.
Very well. It began long ago in Akanon, when the king decided to hold a contest. It was grand. The king invited everyone to make a clockwork king, and the one that most resembled him would win.
Please go on.
The 2 favored inventors were my ancestor, Wobblecogg, and an ingenious but maligned tinkerer named Meldrath. They both submitted their designs, and after much deliberation, it was found that the Wobblecogg plan provided a much more accurate interpretation of the king.
What happened then?
Tezek's clockwork became the royal doppelganger, of course, and Meldrath became infuriated. He placed a curse on my family that has lasted every generation from then onward.
Do go on.
He cursed us with miscalculation. It's nearly driven my family to madness.
That does sound bothersome.
We are the most ingenious inventors, you see. We have truly inspired ideas, but cannot ever see them through to completion because we fumble some inane formula.
That sounds devastating.
Oh, it is. Take my father, for instance. We thought he had finally overcome the curse when he made that boat. Oh, it looked so beautiful, and was more complete than any other Wobblecogg invention has been in centuries.
I see.
Then, as soon as we got it out in the ocean, it sunk like a rock. Who knew iron wouldn't float?
How did you get the boat here if the boat sunk?
Luckily, my father had compensated for the curse. He knew something was bound to go wrong, so he completely encapsulated the boat, making it watertight just in case something went awry. Sure enough, the moment she left the berth, the ticking tock fell straight to the sea floor.
But it moved along the floor?
Oh yes, there were several waterproofed whirligigs set up in a Flagnuvian configuration to displace the Maganominal Nognards.
I see.
So, here I am, sitting on the dock with all of the extra Huh? Oh, this seems to be a bit of a problem.
What's wrong?
I'm missing the extra parts that my father asked me to collect. Oh no, this is disastrous. I can't leave the dock because I'll miss the boat, and I can't go to Kino's without those parts. Oh, what am I going to do?
Maybe I can help.
You do that? For me? Oh, thank you very, very much. I'll stay here and ask the boat captain to wait for you to return, should he come. Now, I'm missing 3 parts, and I have no idea where they could be. I know they're on the island, somewhere.
What parts are you missing?
I'm missing a size 7 clunker, a copper-coated springer, and a triangle spinner. If you could find them and bring them to me, I'd be forever grateful.
I'll get right on it. Okay, now the piece he gives is another forearm piece. Slightly better than the forearm piece I currently have.
I need all the parts. I can't leave without them, and luckily the boat to Kino's hasn't showed up yet. Please, help me find all the parts.
Okay. Alright. Now, next thing I'm going to worry myself with is getting these crabs dealt with before I outlevel them. I mean, not in any danger of outleveling them yet, but still, they're here, and I'm gonna do it. No quest items yet. Now notice that Creordan is also on the island currently, and is the same level as I am, conveniently. Next level, I should get heroic opportunities unlocked, which will be a whole new fun thing to talk about. a sandy bone shard I already have, so I will not loot that. Maybe someone else will come along and be in need of it. Definitely need to get this shiny. Can't be walking away from that, can we? Ah, there we go. Found the remaining pieces. And now I need to examine the shard again. So we go here, and we'll assemble the pieces. As you assemble the pieces of the token, the intricate carving of the ship becomes clear. The pieces can be repaired, but some sort of glue will be needed to hold them together again. Fish skin may be a good start to create the glue. Alright, so now we need to find some fish to make the glue from. Howsoever, the razortooth sharks apparently also count. We're going to be killing sharks anyway, though. We ought to see about going over and clicking this statue over here. Care must be taken, however, because there's a nasty name that spawns around these parts, and he would most certainly destroy me without even the slightest bit of trouble. So, the quest is right there on the map, and right here in the water. So, this gives a belt as its reward. We'll accept that. And that requires you to kill razortooth sharks. So, they will update the fish and this quest simultaneously. Not going well, so I think I will see if I can get off of the... No bueno. Did get it off of me, so there we go. Let's try that again. Get a little bit of health and power back, and then hop back in and kill some more of these razortooth sharks. playing as a mage, it's often a good idea to use your ranged advantage to start getting those dots off before you get hit by the enemy. Let's see if we can find another razortooth shark. We need one more for that quest. And we also still need a fish. We'll still need a fish after that. There's another one. But, I mean, shiny, so. Have enough room for one, so that's fine. And that was level 5. We'll pop back over here to put that belt on. And we got the chain. Chain is really very helpful for a mage. So we'll allow draggable. And I'm gonna stick this right there, I think. I like it. This is bind sight, so I think what that does is makes me able to see through the vision of something that I have targeted. Not something I necessarily need on my hotbar. And this is the almighty heroic opportunity starter. Very much enjoy that aspect of the game. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and go out to find the copper-coated springer over here. It's way out in the water. And we will check along the way for shinies, as always. But we'll run along the beach to check for those as we go. Oh look, there's Preordain. Now you'll see that that shark is aggro. He was not interested in me because I didn't get quite close enough to him to get his attention. But here is the item we want for Evic's quest. That one. I'd actually expected to get attacked by that shark, so... Oh, well, okay. There's another one over here. Go ahead and kill that, and that'll finish off my need for any of those fish. And now we'll examine that shard again. Glue the pieces together. The glue holds well, and the lines made by the cracks are barely visible. A small hoop that has been carved long ago at the top only needs a cord of leather, and the necklace will be complete. So, we'll put the token away. And what's needed for that is the goblins, but we don't need those quite yet, because we're going to be killing goblins along the way anyway. Evic's missing part. One of those is beside the treehouse, and one of those is over. It's to the north of the bay. So right over here. But before I go out there again, I'm going to go stop by the bank. Actually, I'll go stop by the salesman first, then I'll stop by the bank. to dump things in there. Okay, we've got a crab claw and some damaged skin, a little bit of crab meat. And that's all of the stuff like that that I'm interested in dumping. I have this. It's leather. I was thinking that Preordain might have needed it, but Preordain is a mystic, so he'll need chain, not leather. Alright, so I will throw these items into the bank, not into my inventory like I'm currently doing. Auto bank. That's what we want to do. That'll stack up anything that stacks when you do that, so it's very useful. Still not even close to enough money to buy another bag yet. So, without using the shared bank, we're in a bit of a pickle already. Doesn't take long. Go ahead and sort these bags, and then we can auto inventory these into the bags and see how much room we have. We have a little bit, not as much as we would like. These have feathers just because of the replacement cord. Actually, I'm going to unclick that so it doesn't show just everything. Currently, the quests are to kill Morrak devourers to the north of Dead Canyon, speak to a soothsayer at the last stand, and find the parts for Evic. The one I'm going to work on right now is this Morrak devourer quest. Now that I have my heroic opportunity, I forgot to use it. Doesn't that seem about right? So the heroic opportunities are a different kind of combat. I don't know exactly if you'd call it a combat trick. Let me tell you what I'll do. I will chain this one. That's going to mean this other one's going to run at me. And so I'll fight him. So when you click that, it starts this little thing over here, the heroic opportunity. You click, currently it's this one, to make that continue, and then anything that is blinking at that point will finish it off. So click this blinks, so we can click it to take it to the next step, and then you'd be able to finish it. And it'll give different ones do different things. Here we have a helpful hint. Sometimes non-player characters, NPCs, are found in unusual locations and need your help. Clear the Morraks from the base of that tree, then help the scout down. Continue. Alright. In this case, we already cleared the base of the tree, or someone did, and so there he is. He says, where are they? Those nasty, evil Morraks. I almost congrats to myself, how funny. I say, I've gotten rid of them. Are there more? He says, get them away. Who knew that Morraks were hounds, I ask you? They've got to be eliminated. Dreaded beasts. And I say, I'll get rid of them. And here we go. this is a useless pair of pants for me, because I am a mage and can only wear cloth. This is leather. If they come back, you know where you'll find me, up in this tree. And I say, well, okay. Now I'm supposed to kill more of the Morrak devourers. So, I will root this one, and then switch to this one to hit him with something, hopefully. Start the HO, start my lightning strike, or whatever it is, lightning burst. And then I'll switch over here while that goes off, or doesn't go off, because the guy died first. And that works too. And I don't really want to pick that up right now because I just don't feel like I have room in my bags for that. Well, now I'm left with pairs. So I'll start with this pair here. Alright, I should tell the Ganosian scout to run while he still can. Except that I didn't kill these Morrak devourers. Alright, got that. Now I can come click this guy, and he'll come down from the tree. And now I can update with him. Whew, thank you. I couldn't hold on much longer, he says.
Hello. Well
Where are
met.
they, those nasty evil Morraks? And I say, you look pretty shaken up. He says, whew. And I was assigned to explore the village. I had no idea there would be these dogs. I'm deathly afraid of them. Got bitten very badly as a child, you see. This is terrible. How can I finish my missions? You don't seem to be frightened of them. And I say, these little pups, they don't scare me. He says I would be forever in your debt if you could perhaps take a quick peek around the village for me and clear out any of these wretched Morraks so that I can continue on my mission. Please? I say, not a problem. Wait here for me. Or wait for me here. However we phrase that. Alright, now we have to explore the abandoned village, explore Sapswell Hill, and clear away more Morraks. So we'll head over here because we expect to be attacked as we go. So there was our abandoned village update. Sapswell Hill, it's over here, and then we just need to clear some more Morraks. And we also need to come and check and see what this shiny is because, oh, there's 2 of them. It's 3 of them. How insane is that? Okay, so we finished our feather collection. I don't want to fill up my bags with more right now, so not gonna do it. I just need the beach things at this point. So for the moment, I will leave those for other people to enjoy. Ah, I clicked bad. Alright, let's see here. I need 4 more Morraks. And there are some in pairs on the other side, but I suppose I will fight these guys first, eh? It's no good this direction. Let's come back over here. Ah, it's getting worse and worse. Out of power. No good. Let's see though, this ought to finish it off. We can come around this direction and should be able to get some more of these Morrak devourers. Helps if I fizzle less. Now if I can find, oh yes, this set will work just fine. Alright. Finish that off. Now we can come update yet again with the Lost Scout over here.
Good day.
He says, where are they? Those nasty evil Morraks. Which is what he said every time. I say, you're not going to like this. There are multitudes of Morraks ahead. He says, oh dear. I say, the Morraks are even more plentiful around the village. I cleared a path, but they'll be back soon. He says, I do owe you for this, friend. I'm primarily a scout, but also a diplomat in training. I'm supposed to open lines of communication with the sceptral soothsayer, who supposedly knows a great deal about what's ailing our colony. Can you take him this gift, as an active diplomat in training? And I say, I'll take care of it. No worries. Alright. Package must be given to the sceptral soothsayer at the last stand. So I'm also supposed to examine the shard again. I failed to do that. So I'll come back and examine that. The old and yellow piece, so it's the same intro, then we add the leather cord. We get into a fight. And we're being given the necklace reward for this, which is much better than the nothing that I currently have on. Alright. And so I will put on this necklace. Okay, let's see here. Size 7 clunker. Soothsayer at the last stand. Soothsayer at the last stand. And return to cleric. Mara Vane. Let's go ahead and go back to the cleric.